Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so tomorrow we are going to see the release of the LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks Carnival banner on both JP and Global. Obviously all new banners going to be out at the same time now. I guess it's just something I have to get used to. I don't have to specify which version it is anymore. However, we do have to talk about in this video the fact that the Jiren banner is also going to be coming out for Global. As we talked about in the video earlier today, they are two separate banners, which is an absolutely terrible idea. Talked about all of that in the video earlier, so do go check that out. Let me know your thoughts about it. But we are going to be talking, as always, with a new banner, do these summon or skip videos, what I think about the banners. Obviously, as it gets closer and closer to the anniversary, a lot of people are going to be in that save mindset, which I think is kind of smart when you are a free-to-play or low-spending player, which is primarily who these videos are for, right? If you're a whale or you spend a little bit, you're a collector, any of those, Gotenks is your favorite character maybe, a lot of those people, you're probably going to drop some summons anyway, and depending on how many stones you have at the moment, obviously, you know, if you're sitting on like a couple of thousand stones, then maybe it's going to be worth dropping a few multis. Gotenks does seem very, very good. We've talked about all his details. I put up the video earlier going over the community response to this Gotenks and how good people think he is looking. So if you haven't seen that one as well, do go check that out and let me know your thoughts all about the Gotenks unit over there in the comments. So we're going to talk about him a little bit here. We're not going to go over the detail himself in go over the unit himself in great detail because we've done that a lot already. I don't know why the wiki doesn't load his art, but I guess it's good that it's actually been updated a little bit finally and some of the new stuff is actually on there. But Gotenks is a 200% Majin Buu Saga leader. That category's gotten a lot of buffs throughout the year, so he definitely is going to be a good unit to have in order to build the most flexible Buu Saga team, right? Because we talked about already in Super Easy A, Ultimate Gohan doesn't really have a 200% lead from any of the proper Buu Saga leaders. He can only get like a 170 or I guess the 180 from the STR Goku and Vegeta. So this allows you to run any Buu Saga character all on that same team and all get the 200% leader skill. So you can also mix and match extreme and super types if you want to, because Gotenks doesn't have any restriction for being run with super class allies. The only restriction he has is that you need another final trump card ally on the team, which is quite easy to do, not just on the Buu Saga itself, but on a bunch of the other teams that he is on. So in terms of whether he should summon for the unit himself, like from his own individual performance and own individual value, he is very, very good. He is releasing as one of the best units in the game. He's probably top 5 at like the bare minimum. Obviously, I want to use him and see some more examples. At his best, if we're talking like best RNG turn, you could argue that he's the best unit in the game. Or at least, you know, in that top 3 region. So in terms of his own value, he's really, really good. This isn't one of those summon or skip videos. We're not talking like AGL Scout of Vegeta here, where it's like, don't summon because this unit sucks. It's going to be a case of the timing and the schedule and everything going forward, because obviously we are halfway through, or almost halfway through December at this point. And of course, we know the anniversary is going to be at the end of January / beginning of February, so we are less than 2 full months away from the start of the anniversary, and that is the big thing that people should be building up their stones towards. And this, honestly, by making Gotenks this good, this is the absolute definition of a bait banner, because he's really good and you're going to want him, but do you want to spend all those stones not long before the anniversary? Now, it is going to be a double rates Carnival banner, so obviously the rates are increased for pulling these LRs and featured units. The banner lineup itself is something that we still don't really know about. Of course, for Global, Jiren is releasing as well with his own banner, but on JP, Jiren should be featured because it will be his first return. He hasn't returned on a banner since he released as the Part 2 LR for the Tanabata celebration, so that means that the banners will be different between Global and JP as well. So no idea who they're going to put on the Global banner in Jiren's place, but it will be another Carnival LR, considering that Omega, Gogeta and the Gammas returned only recently on the Black Friday banners. Unfortunately, it means it's probably going to end up being another, I think the only solo Carnival LRs, because I don't think it will be like Bird Coup or Metal Cooler, because normally they go together. So it's going to be like STR Hachiak Special Goku or the Int Super Saiyan trio, who I think were also on banners not that long ago. So Gotenks' banner on Global, I think arguably is probably not going to be very good. I think the only thing that could really make it stand out is if we have units on there who are potentially going to get an easy A. Because if we take a look at the Majin Buu Saga, I'll bring the Majin Buu Saga up here. There's a couple of units that I'm hoping to see featured on the banner that will maybe indicate potential for EZAs. We already talked about how in the data download for JP, this Tech Super Saiyan Goten has his EZA sticker in the files, which means he should be getting an EZA sometime soon. If he's featured on the banner as one of the featured SSRs, we could probably predict that he's going to get his EZA soon. But remember, Carnival banners should have 2 other Carnival LRs and then potentially even random like yellow coin LRs featured. And so the big one that I think a lot of us are hoping to see is this guy right here, the physical Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta. If he's featured on the Gotenks banner, which should be then for both versions, I think there's a pretty decent chance that he could get an EZA during this celebration, which would be another massive buff for the team. With all the characters that have been added to Buu Saga recently, getting his condition for his active and unit super and stuff where you have to have a Buu Saga Goku is not going to be very difficult, considering we have the Angel Super Saiyan 3 and the Dragon Fist, and of course the EZA for the Angel one that's just come out. So that's going to be really, really good. In terms of Buu Saga LRs, I mean, I guess we could have Gohan featured. He was the Part 2 LR from Golden Week. I guess the timing kind of lines up, and he does have a unit super with Gotenks. So I could see him being featured. I guess it'd be kind of cool if he was featured for Global instead of the Jiren, right? Because, I mean, him not being featured on JP, probably not a huge issue. But yeah, obviously Global, if Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta is going to get an EZA, he would be featured on both banners. Whereas JP should then have Jiren. Although I guess, to be fair, Gohan's not a Carnival LR. So I don't know if both of these guys would be featured. We can look at Jiren's banner as kind of an example for what we would expect a Carnival LR banner to look like. So we can see here when we look at the Dokkan info page for Jiren's banner, you've got Jiren, then there was the Super Saiyan Trio and the Hachiyak Special Goku, so 3 Carnival LRs. Then we got a couple more unfeatured SSRs, and Tech Full Power Jiren was on there. So other LRs can be there. So this banner should be Gotenks, 2 other Carnival LRs, 1 for JP will be Jiren. And then we're going to have these other, 7 SSRs. So it's a 10 featured SSR banner. But at least one of them could be another LR. So in this slot, that could be the physical Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta, with him getting an EZA. Because remember, when Jiren came out on JP, that's when Tech Full Power Jiren got his EZA. And then the Tech Android 17 and 18 got their EZA in that celebration as well. So if we see like Tech Goten or anyone else, AGL Buu Piccolo is another big one. Even though he's not directly linked to Gotenks, apart from being on Buu Saga, he would be a really good support unit for the Tech Buuhan team. So him getting an EZA would be really good. And if that is going to be the case, as a banner unit, like he's not going to have his own banner or anything, he could be featured on this banner as one of the SSRs. Now, when it comes to Jiren's banner himself for Global, I would imagine that the banner's probably going to be unchanged. However, that does then create an interesting thing for Gotenks' banner, because if Jiren is dropping as a separate banner on Global, and this is what his banner lineup looks like, then it kind of reduces the chance that the other 2 Carnival LRs on Gotenks' banner are the Super Saiyan Trio and Hachiyak Special Goku. So then when you start thinking about who's left for Carnival LRs, I don't know if they would return Omega again on another banner straight after, because the Black Friday ones kind of threw everything out of whack a little bit. I mean, I guess, what would the best case for the player base be? Like, it'd be interesting if they did return, like, the Gammas and Gogeta again. I think that would probably be, well, yeah, that would probably be the best option. They're definitely not going to be returning, like, Tech LR Broly and Family Kamehameha Gohan this early. So that would be insane. That would actually make the banner have such incredible value to summon on if it had Gotenks, Broly, and Gohan. But probably not going to be the case. So if Jiren's banner remains unchanged, that really leaves the lineup for Gotenks' banner up in the air, because who are the other 2 featured Carnival LRs going to be? Let me know what you guys think down below. Worst case scenario is it does literally end up being like Tech Bird Coup and Physical Metal Cooler, because that will be super unfortunate. Both of those units are very much aged out now, and you do not want to be pulling a featured Carnival LR and you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting Gotenks, or you're getting a unit that you basically can't use anymore, at least in the difficult content. They can still find uses in like Battlefield and other stuff like that, but that's not really why we're summoning on banners, right? So this should be the Jiren banner. I don't think it will change. It very much calls into question what the Gotenks banner is going to be, but obviously it's going to come down to whether the banner is great value or not. Gotenks himself is obviously the prize, and he is coming out as one of the best units in the game. Now, if we take a look, we did have the data download thread that we went over earlier today, so shout out to Proton again. We can see we have tickets in the data download for Global, as usual, the Divine Dragon Carnival ticket. Now, the interesting thing about this is that there's only one ticket, and as far as from what I've seen in the files, the banner that should be the Jiren banner is called like the Final Unification Carnival, something like that, because obviously Jiren releasing is the final thing that Global didn't have, and now the games are like essentially fully synced, which is weird because obviously Global's been doing purchasable tickets for every banner recently, so it's kind of odd that if they're dropping Jiren as a separate banner because they want to try and make more money rather than putting him on the same banner as Gotenks, you think they'd bring out 2 different purchasable ticket packs, because then the people that spend money would be likely to buy those. But there is only one ticket, and this should be for the Gotenks banner. So we don't know what the format will be, whether it's the one where you just buy packs of 7, or if it's the one where you buy like the more expensive pack that just gives you one like 20 unit summon with a guaranteed featured. We don't get to know that info from the data download. We just literally know that there is going to be a purchasable ticket. But if you're someone who spends, that's going to be something that could be interesting for you. Gives you a chance to pull the Gotenks without having to use any of the stones that you have saved up. But obviously, if you are a free-to-play player, or a very low spender, you know, you spend like a few dollars here and there, depending on what kind of ticket pack it is, especially if it is the larger one, then obviously that's not going to be relevant for you at all, unfortunately. So what it comes down to at the end of the day is that Gotenks is a very, very good unit. Like I say, he is releasing as one of the best units in the game, but unfortunately at this time, remember, Carnival banners, it is double rates, which is a nice bonus, but because it's a double rates banner, it doesn't have the pity coins or anything. So there is absolutely 0 guarantees. You could drop like 2,000 stones on this banner and not pull Gotenks. So that is something to think about. Even though it is double rates, like, you can still get unlucky. So I think it's pretty obvious to say that when it comes to the Gotenks banner, if you're a free-to-play or low-spending player, you should probably be skipping this. It is the definition of a hard skip because he's such a good character. Like, there are banners that you take one look at, or characters, and it's like, yep, skip that, easy, no problem. But the good thing is as well, with the leader skill that he has, you will get to run him as a friend. I'm sure a bunch of people will be pulling for him and setting him on their friends list, and then you can use one of the many Buu Saga leaders that exists and then run him as a friend to actually try him out in game yourself, and then he'll return to be able to get with coins sometime through the sort of middle of next year. Sort of the first sort of 4 or 5 months he should hopefully return, which is a shame to have to wait that long. But yeah, Gotenks is very, very good, but a very difficult skip. And then for Global, obviously when it comes to Jiren, I mean, for me personally, you guys know I've said before, I'm not a fan of Jiren as a character. The card is really good. He is very, very strong. You can go into your standby ability starting from the 3rd turn, and when he goes into the standby, he can essentially get 100% damage reduction and basically be invincible. But, you know, for the Universe Survival Saga team or Universe 11 team, that team's already kind of stacked. I don't think he's a character that you necessarily need to have, even though he is really good. And so with him releasing at the same time as Gotenks, for me personally, I think it's very easy to say that he is an easy skip. Like, if you're tempted to spend any stones tomorrow before the anniversary in general, it would be to summon for Gotenks and not to summon for Jiren. So I think Jiren is a super easy skip. Gotenks is a difficult choice, but probably a skip as well. Like I said, if you have a couple of 1,000 stones already, because you've been saving ever since either the last anniversary or from some point in the worldwide, you could throw a few multis in there to give the double rates a try, but there is nothing guaranteed, there is no pity. So I think unfortunately for both of these banners it is a skip, but Gotenks, a tough skip for sure, because he is very, very good. I will be live tomorrow when the banners come out to summon for him. Ideally we managed to get that one copy and then probably just stop there and have him at 55%. He should still be very good, and then we'll be trying him out in a bunch of the different content. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you going to be summoning? Are you going to be skipping? Let me know all your thoughts down below, and hopefully I will see you guys at the stream. This video, if you're watching it as soon as it goes up, be going up at 10 PM UK time. The banner's out at 5 AM. So if you're watching this as soon as the video goes up, the banner will be out in 7 hours, and I will be live a little bit before it comes out, and we will be summoning. So hopefully I will see you there. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.